Shera Seven changed my life. I made a video about it before. Got a lot of comments, a lot of women obviously agreeing because her advice is 100% solid, especially if you listen to her full videos beginning to end. You'll know what I mean by her advice is solid. Her advice is not just around sugar daddies and making money off sugar daddies. That is one part of her advice. Her advice has a lot more depth than that and has a lot more to do with yourself than it does about men and other people outside. Someone commented that they want me to talk about Shera Seven and my experience learning from her a little bit more. This video is going to be just about why I listen to her advice exclusively and why I don't take other influencers seriously who don't fully abide by Shera Seven's advice. I have not been quiet about the fact that I listen to Shera Seven's advice to the T. I do this for many reasons. First reason is Shera Seven has never been wrong. I have applied her advice in every aspect of my life. I have watched other people's lives, and everything she says plays out exactly as she says it in real life. She's never been wrong, number one. Number two, Shera Seven is in her I think going into her late 40s. So she has double the experience of a lot of these influencers online that are giving advice. I'm in my 30s. Like, I cannot take advice from a 20-something-year-old. There are things I'll listen to a 20-something-year-old about. Fashion. I follow a lot of 25-year-olds, 26-year-olds when it comes to fashion, style, home decor, things like this. The young generation is great to take advice from. The younger generation will always be the one leading the trends and style and fashion. But will I go and take life advice, real solid life advice from someone under the age of 30? Absolutely not. That's the other reason I listen to Shera Seven, her age. The third reason I listen to Shera Seven is she does not appease to what people want to hear. She doesn't say anything just because she knows people want to hear it. Something that I notice a lot about people who give advice online, sometimes I'm guilty of this, and I try to edit my videos so that I don't do this, is she doesn't say things just because she knows it's going to get a good reaction. She doesn't say anything for any reaction at all. She says it because it's the truth, and that's why she says it. Whether she knows the reaction will be really bad or really good, she's still going to say exactly what she believes to be true. The fourth reason I follow Shera Seven is because Shera Seven doesn't try to force you into her mindset. She simply tells you what her mindset is, tells you what the truth is in her perspective. It's your decision how you're going to take that information. A lot of girls watch Shera Seven's videos and they don't apply it. They listen to it, they don't know how to apply it because Shera is not forcing you to do it. She's just telling you. And when the time comes, she believes that all women will come and realize that what she says is true because it is the truth. These are the reasons why I exclusively listen to Shera Seven. She's not baiting to get reaction. She's doing it to spread the truth. She has daughters. She wanted her daughters to grow up in a world where women are no longer slaves to men and society, which essentially is what we had become. Women were going on dates with guys and paying for it. Women are getting married and paying, a lot of cases, most of the bills, and getting cheated on and being treated like shit and getting disrespected and abused. Those are the reasons why I listen to Shera Seven. She has life experience, not doing or saying anything to please or upset people. She's just doing and saying exactly what is true. And nothing that she's ever said has been wrong when I have seen it play out in the real world. At the end of the day, all this fluffy advice you get online or, hardcore slamming advice you get online, none of it matters if when you go in the real world, it doesn't actually work. None of it matters if they don't explain everything correctly to you. I don't know a single influencer who explains everything exactly as true as it is as Shera. For example, Wizard Liz. I don't blame her. She's in her 20s. She still believes if you have high enough standards, you can guarantee yourself to have a man that will never cheat on you or that will never hurt you. And Shera tells you that no matter how high your standards are, how much he does for you, none of that guarantees that you'll never be cheated on. None of that guarantees that. You cannot bet your life on the fact that you will not be cheated on. There's always a chance. So many of these influencers online tell you, no, that's not a good thing to say. That's not a good thing to put out there. But it's the truth. It may not feel good to say, and it may not feel good to accept. And it's not boys will be boys. It's the world will be the world. You can't play fair in an unfair world. If you're playing fair thinking, I'm going to have this and I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, and I'm definitely going to get this outcome, you're not understanding the world is not fair. Everything doesn't just work out perfectly because you did everything the right way. The world is not fair. You have to be able and willing to accept that something might and could happen, because when it does, and you absolutely did not expect it, that is when women crash and fall. If you expected it, if you knew that was going to happen, if you listened to Shera's advice and something happens where you get cheated on, you know exactly what to do. You have a plan. You have a goal. You have a strategy. I got cheated on. This is what I'm going to do. I have a backup plan. If you play fair and nice and he's never going to cheat on me. He had to work so hard to get me. Oh my God, he buys me everything I want. He might. There's a chance. What are you going to do when that happens? Not be prepared at all? Not prepare yourself at all because you refuse to accept the truth? You're walking around the world like this right now. Okay? You can't see anything. Without Shera 7, this is how I was operating. I was walking around the world like this. I could not see. Everything was blocked. I did not understand what was around me in the big picture. As soon as I watched like one of her videos, I was already like, okay, I need to watch more. As soon as I started watching her videos in full, I'm talking like I'm walking on the treadmill for 3 hours and I'm listening to her lives that she saves. Until you start listening to them beginning to end in full, not little clips on TikTok, in full, you will not realize how true and accurate her advice is. And when you apply it to your life, what a difference it makes. I'm not just talking about going dating sugar daddies, finding guys. That's great, get your money. But that's not all she's talking about. She's talking about self-love, putting yourself first, how to attract the best things in life. How everything you put into yourself comes back to you in tenfold. Shera's advice is absolutely solid. I will never listen to anyone else. I will never take anyone else seriously. I do listen to bits and pieces of advice I hear and there, and I repost it and I like it and all of that. But I don't take anyone's advice seriously except for Shera's. Everyone's advice that I listen to, I take it with a grain of salt. I'll take the little piece of advice, I'll apply it, because everyone has bits and pieces of good information they share. Wizard Liz being one of them. But will I say that this person knows what they're saying, knows exactly what they're doing? No. Other than Shera, I won't. And if it's going to be anyone else, they have to be much older than Shera. I'm telling you guys right now, taking advice from people in their 20s is not going to get you very far in life. It's going to get you to make mistakes. Make the mistakes that 20-year-olds make. So if you're going to listen to a 20-year-old, expect to make the mistakes that 20-year-olds make. And if you listen to a 40-year-old or a 50-year-old or a 60-year-old, you can expect, if it's a smart one, a smart 40, 50, 60-year-old, you can expect that they're going to prepare you to not make the mistakes that they made and the mistakes that likely are coming your way. When you are taking advice from anybody, you need to do your due diligence. Taking bits and pieces of advice here and there is great, but if you're going to be following an influencer and listening to everything they say, you need to make sure that, and everyone makes mistakes, you need to make sure that the person you're following has the credibility to give you that advice. As in, have they really seen and experienced the most? A 25-year-old giving advice online has only been an adult for 5 years, essentially straight out of high school. So taking advice from someone that hasn't even been an adult for 5 years, basically a toddler in adulthood, just doesn't make sense. Not to me. Not to me in my 30s. As soon as I hit 30, I stopped listening to people in their 20s. I was like, I need to start listening to older women. And that's why I listened to Shera Seven's advice. A lot of people giving that advice, unless they say they fully abide by what Shera says and believe it to be true, I would take everything they say with a grain of salt. Because anyone telling you you should prepare and expect that nothing will ever go wrong is setting you up for failure. I'm not saying all men cheat. Like Shera says, would you bet your life on the fact that all men don't cheat? Would you bet your life on that fact? If you wouldn't bet your life on the fact, then at least have a little bit of a plan in your mind for if that ever happens to you, because you can't bet your life that it won't happen. These are the reasons I listen to Shera 7. These are the reasons I will always listen to Shera 7. And these are the reasons why I don't take anyone else as seriously as I take her advice. Someone else's advice I'm listening to in silos, but I'm not taking it as a holistic view. Hers is the only one who I listen to holistically. I believe that everything she says is right. I believe it's realistic. I believe it applies in real life based on my own and what I've observed. Anyone who denies that is in denial, or they're under the age of 30. Thanks everyone for watching. Bye.